you guys see, I'm laughing already. So we have a comedy icon in Studio 61 this morning. Drum roll. Good morning, Tommy
Thank you.
Davidson.
I'm shining. Good God, I gotta
a little burst of
slow up
powder?
I gotta slow up on the forehead oil. Things are good. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited that you're with us here in Studio 61. So we've got a lot to talk about this morning.
Okay.
Now, you've been in the game for a long time.
It is true.
Yeah.
It is true.
Now, you're performing at the Mohegan Sun tonight. Tell us a little bit about, what you're going to touch on.
You know what? Right now I'm into dispensing comedy. So not even right now. This is what I do. So I just realized, I think just the other night, that I do happy. Like, surgeons do surgery and people who do road construction do road constructions. I do happy. Like, I give happy. So I'm here to give happy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be there, and all the things that I do just make people happy really fast. Mm-hmm. Let's say President Obama. Let's say if I was to describe that and describe where I come from and describe Tommy Davidson as a comedian, I'd say that skinny. I'd say that ease up on the forehead oil. I'd say that. But I'd say have a lot of fun, and make sure that you go out to all parts of the country. You're near Mystic, Connecticut, so I saw a Mystic Pizza, and I don't know about their pizza, but I hear their seafood's off the hook. Get it off the hook, seafood. See, so I'm going fat. You see what I mean? So I get happy out there.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's what I'm here to do, because we've been through a lot.
Right.
Over the last
going on 3 years.
Yeah. The world just seems to be separated, but we're not so much. Now we're back. So I just want to be back with everyone.
Yeah.
And I started doing comedy May of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So what is it? March, April, May. I was right out. So a month after the pandemic, or a month after it started,
right.
I started going on the road to all the clubs. So I got to see our country in a whole different way, because there was only maybe 20 people at the clubs. Mm-hmm. And because I was a road comic for so long, a lot of the clubs called me and said, "We need you to come here, because we're going to lose our whole business."
Yeah.
A lot of them are mom pop shops and places that are dedicated to comedy, like the club that I'm in, at the Mohegan Sun. And the name of, he's going to be mad at me if I don't name the club. So we'll get to that later.
Okay.
But I'll be there, and he's looking at me now. So seeing us come back, even my friends wouldn't come to the shows. Like, they say, I'm out on the back steps, and they go, "Hi, man, I'm not coming any closer."
Yeah.
And I watched from fiberglass, to plastic everywhere, to mask and not being able to see people smile. Hi. From the clubs filling back up.
Right.
And the malls filling back up, and people on the weekend taking their kids, to Disneyland or even to Target. Things just started normalizing, and normal to me is that everyone is able to live together and have some kind of happy.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really here for.
Yeah, and I bet the people are ready for it. Mm-hmm. Now, Tommy, the landscape.
Where are the people? Where's the camera? Where's the camera?
You'll see them. You'll see them.
Where are you?
Well, the landscape has changed over the years, and some people might say that, everyone is too politically correct now. Has that changed how you, present your shows and what you decide to talk about?
Not really. Not really. It's just that it's been a funny world, White people rush the Capitol. I was surprised. I was like, oh, I thought orange was the new black, but maybe it's a whole different thing. So this is what I'm talking about. It's a little bit confusing. When I look on TV, there's a lot of shows that are like an hour long where all I see is women arguing. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something, and let me tell you something, and they're all types of colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'll go and I'll be like, oh, what about this show? Oh, they're popping pimples. So it's a whole nother world from the world I come from In Living Color.
Yeah.
The movies, and where I come from in the 90s. Mm-hmm. But I do accept things as they are. And I know that everybody is different. I learned it from my grandfather. My grandfather told me if everybody was the same, everybody would be chasing after your grandmother. And I used to be like, why would anybody want to do that? And then it hit me. Everybody is doing what they like. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it's a live and let live kind of thing. And I think the riots showed us. I think Ukraine has showed us. I think just reality has showed us that, you know, we are our best bet.
Yeah.
That's my message to everyone. I think we are our best bet.
Yeah, we got to come together. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and get back on something a little lighter.
Okay.
Take us back to the beginning of your career. I heard that you've gotten to work with Patti LaBelle, Kenny G, some big names. So what were those moments like? Do you have some like good memories from back then?
Yeah, the best. The best. I learned from the best. I started out in a small club in D.C. I wasn't intending to do comedy. A friend of mine thought I was funny. I got a job as an assistant chef at a Ramada Inn, which is impressive for someone who's 18 years old. He was like, man, you're crazy. You should be doing movies like Eddie Murphy and all this stuff. I was like, get out my face, mad because you ain't got no job. He took me to some club. It was a strip club. He took me to in the worst part of D.C. And he said, this guy's going to let you on stage for 5 minutes. And the guy looked at me, you know, all right, go ahead, man. And I looked at my friend. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? He said, I don't care what you do. Just get up there and say something. And they laughed. From that point on, I played that club for like 90 days. I became the big name in D.C. And people started asking me to perform with them. Patti LaBelle was one of them. And Kenny G. I went on tour with both of them.
Yeah.
And I learned from them how the craft works. Mm-hmm. And they worked so hard and rehearsed so hard. I was like, there's something to this. You know, and that's the way of life. You know, if you discover something that you really like to do, find out how it's really done, and then you do really well.
Yeah.
So I had them as a lesson, you know. Now, as far as comedy,
incredible people to have to learn
at
from.
the beginning. Long story short, I'm in the music industry now because of that. You know.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But comedy has been a heck of a ride. So you're asking what has happened to me? Oh my goodness! In Afghanistan, I'm on stage. Your military brat.
Yeah.
I'm on stage in Bagram, and the bass gets missiled, right?
Oh my goodness!
So everybody hits the ground, and I'm the guy still standing up. You know, so I went through this whole regiment where I had to go through the safety and put on all this stuff, you know, if something happened. And something happened and everybody just scrambled. So I was just up there going, oh, okay. My friend was like, come on, man, get under this thing, man. I'm like, it's too late, you know. So that's one thing that happened. And then another thing that happened, which may sound at first shocking, which it is, a woman died at my show.
Oh, wow.
That I invited to my show. I was at a check cashing place on a Sunday. It was almost closing. I was like, will you please cash it? She said, come on in. White woman. And there were all these patrons in there, and they saw me. They said, oh, my God, you're Tommy Davidson. Wow. And they look at her and go, do you know who he is? And she looks and she goes, oh, that's right. That's you. Wow. You know?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming here. I was like, thanks for letting me in. She said, it's my birthday. I said, why don't you come to my show? She said, okay, can I bring my kids? I said, sure. They're like 21, 22. She brings them 15 minutes into the show. She has a massive heart attack, dies right there.
Oh, gosh.
The ambulance squad, I guess that's an old word, ambulance, huh? Black people say ambulance. But it sounds more urgent, right?
Yeah.
White people go, the ambulance. You're like, what? The ambulance. We go, ambulance. Okay. So they tell us she's gone, but don't tell the audience, and everybody's kind of, filing out. We were at the front of it. I'm dealing with her kids who were hysterical. My mom had died probably about 2 months before that, so I was really ready for that in a spiritual way, to be there for them. And everybody's walking out. We got another show to do. They left it up to me. Are we gonna have another show? I was like, yeah, let's have another show. You know? And this black girl walks up to me with light in her eyes. She says, isn't that beautiful? And I say, what? She said, of all the things that God could have walked her up to heaven with, he picked you.
Awesome. Incredible.
You know?
Okay, now, Tommy, we do have to head out to break.
Was that story getting long?
It was a little long, but it's okay. We do got to head out to break, but can you take us out to break with a quick Sammy Davis impression?
Well, yeah. And where's the camera?
This one, right here in the middle.
Let's take a break. Wow.
All right, you can catch Tommy Davidson over at the Mohegan Sun tonight. Go check out this comedy icon.
Hey, hold on. I had no idea my knees were showing. People at home are going, well, hey, this guy is smuggling coconuts. What's going on?
Oh, stop.